Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for episode number 73 of our AEW series, and we are at night 5 already of the All-In Grand Prix. We got a few people kind of running ahead with it in both blocks, quite a few 6-pointers so far. And yeah, we are here for another night. Hopefully it is filled with some top quality matches. I think our last Grand Prix was a little bit lackluster, but that was just purely because of lack of storylines. So I've made sure that we've got a few storylines included throughout these matches and segments, etc. So hopefully we get a nice, lovely little blue or higher score in this one. But we are here with Renee, RJ, and Paul White, our All-In Grand Prix broadcasting crew. 72. You know, this is the pre-show segment. I only do this just so we don't dive straight into a match. And as always, we've got our exhibition match to begin with. Let's see who's in that and how it goes down. But first, just wanted to quickly hype up the main event. We've got Drew Galloway taking on WALTER. So WALTER, since joining AEW, has been on a rampage, dominating almost every match he's been in. Drew Galloway recently joined the Roberts family and just had this new lease of life and confidence that has meant that he is also undefeated in this tournament. So the two of them clash in the main event tonight. Whether, you know, someone comes out a winner, time limit draw, we're going to have to wait and see, but it should hopefully be a very good match. But first, as mentioned, the exhibition match. Let's see who is taking part and therefore not having a block match tonight. Oh, an 89. That's how we like to start the show. So in a bout that had great wrestling and good heat, Jay White, Jeff Cobb, and Kenny Omega get the win over John Moxley, Zack Sabre Jr., and Prince Devitt in 25 minutes when Kenny pins Zack with the one-winged angel. Looking at the numbers here, Moxley and Kenny were the best by quite a bit, to be fair. The next highest was Zack Sabre Jr. with an 85, Jay with an 83, Devitt with a 77, and Jeff Cobb 76. Cobb doesn't like the tag teams. I've noticed that. Doesn't like to be in tag teams. But yeah, great result here. Doesn't mean anything, just an exhibition match, but it's always a fantastic way to just get the ball rolling for the show. So yeah, let's not waste any more time and let's dive into the first block match. And actually, we don't, because post-match, John Moxley squares up to Jeff Cobb, gets in his face, which turns into a huge brawl between these two men. Security, none of the other participants are getting involved because they're a bit smarter than that. Zack Sabre Jr. obviously tries to get involved, but Cobb just squashes him to the floor. But yeah, security have had to come down, a few of our road agents and stuff, just pulling them apart as they just brawl into the crowd and out of the arena, essentially. So yeah, Moxley and Cobb will be facing off very soon in the Grand Prix, and it should be a really good match. But now that they've brawled out of the arena, we've got a little bit of space now, so let's start our block matches with Hangman Adam Page taking on Keith Lee. Keith Lee, who is undefeated so far, I believe, and looks like he is continuing that. So in a bout that had superb wrestling, my favourite word, and great heat, Keith Lee defeats Hangman Adam Page in 14 minutes with the Spirit Bomb. And yeah, 93 from both men and a 91 overall. I mean, if they've got a 93, why is it only 91, my dude? Anything dragging it down? Penalised for holding back. Adam Page, you could have got a 96, 97, but no, you held back. But yeah, Keith Lee is just a monster. Since winning the international title, he's just developed this really ruthless aggression. Well, I mean, we might as well call it what it is. And he's got no fear, like zero fear at all, taking on all three members of Death Triangle recently. And I think that has definitely elevated him to a whole new level. So it'll be very interesting to see how long he can keep up this reign of terror, because in all honesty, he could go all the way. Definitely the favourite so far in the B block, because, you know, it doesn't look like anyone can stop him. But yeah, 91 in this match, very good start. Let's see if we can keep up that pace with the next match. But before that, MJF is hyping up his bro Matt Cardona, saying, Yo, he won the other week. This is where it starts. The win streak starts now. Matt Cardona is going to become the Grand Prix champion. I'm so proud of him. I love him so much. And then Matt's obviously like, bro, I love you too. We're like the best of friends. It's incredible. And then Steph DeLander's there just being like, Matt, you've got to get ready for your match. And he's like, oh, okay. Thanks, Steph. Anyways, I'll see you out there. And MJF's like, I've got my t-shirt. Don't worry. MJF's like, I'm going to go take my seat. So yeah, Matt Cardona obviously is in action tonight. MJF, his #1 fan, is here to support him like he has done every week so far, or every night we should say. It's quite funny because MJF was like, I'm not going to wrestle every night, but he'll happily turn up every night to watch his best friend. So, you know, that's a great friend if you ask me. But I don't think Matt Cardona's match is next though. I believe it's another match before we have that. So let's jump to the next segment. Wow, an 87. In about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Miro and Darby Allin drew. Wow. In all honesty, I'm sure it was Darby Allin holding on because Miro has been very dominant as of late. So it went to the 20-minute time limit, an 87 rated match. Miro with an 85, Darby Allin with a 70. Sting and CJ Perry were ringside. So you bet there was a bunch of shenanigans and things going on with them. But yeah, a time limit draw. I believe that's our second time limit draw of the tournament so far. The first being Pac and Bryan Danielson. So Darby Allin, I think, gets his first points because of this. So Darby Allin is now on 1 point, and I think this puts Miro on 3 or 5, one of them. But yeah, 87, really good, better than I thought it'd be. So can't complain so far. Let's continue with this show. And we've got Pac taking on Rouge, and this definitely didn't do as well. It was in about that had great wrestling and good heat. Pac defeats Rouge in 17 minutes with the Black Arrow. Pac was held back by the chaotic nature of the match. What did we put this as? Mayhem. I just wanted to see, because I imagine Rouge should be good at Mayhem. Apparently not. But it got an 80. You know, 80 is not terrible, but with these guys involved, you know, it's not the best. They probably could have had a much higher score had we not put the focus to Mayhem. But we need 3 different focuses a show, so I took a risk, didn't work out, but it's still an 80. You know, you can't knock an 80. But that means that Pac gets another point, which I believe now puts him on 7 points, either 7 or 5. We will obviously recap the points at the end of this episode. But yeah, Pac, you know, I think Pac is yet to lose as well, right? Because he got a draw and then he's 1-1-1, I think. Maybe. Either way, we'll find out. Let's move on to our next match or segment. And yo, a 96. Wow, okay. They've got good chemistry as well. Awesome. In about that had superb wrestling, my favourite word, and good heat. Bryan Danielson gets the win. I think this is Bryan's first win of the All In Grand Prix, because he got the draw with Pac and then he lost against Moxley. Yeah. And I think he lost against Keith Lee too. So yeah, this is Bryan's first win. Nick still is on 0 points and losing in 9 minutes as well. That was a short match to get a 96. That's quite crazy. This must have been one hell of a match. 9 minutes of just non-stop fire. But it got the crowd buzzing. Bryan with a 95 performance and Nick with an 87 performance. They've got great chemistry. Bree was ringside doing great work. Couldn't ask for anything more. Unlucky Nick, you've been in some really good matches, just unfortunately on the losing end. I'm sure you'll get the win soon, but this time Bryan takes the points. Congrats, Bryan. I think this is what he needed. He needed a win to kind of get him fired up and going. Let's continue with the show. Matt Cardona taking on Bandido, and in a decent match, Matt Cardona got the win. He defeated Bandido in 8 minutes with the Rough Rider. They don't have good chemistry, which is not good, which definitely brought this score down, because Bandido got a 64. Wow, that's not good. Either way, though, Matt Cardona gets the win, so he is on another point. Is that 4 points now for Cardona, or is it 6? Again, I can't remember. Bandido's on 2 because he won the Juice Robinson match by forfeit. I do know that. Always on, 2 points. But yeah, it's nice to know that these guys don't click. Thankfully, everyone faces each other once. So this is a one and done. Get out of here. Matt Cardona takes the points away, doing a lot better than some of us probably thought he would. 78, it's fine, you know. Let's just move on. Following this, an 85 in a bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. It is Will Ospreay who comes out on top, defeating Juice Robinson with the Stormbreaker. Juice, another person who is on 0 points. So that's Juice, Nick Jackson, and Prince Devitt, who was in the exhibition match, so he doesn't have the chance to get points today. So there are 3 0-pointers at the moment, I believe. Juice obviously only wrestling 2 matches because he was out the first 2. But Will with an 89, good old Ospreay. Juice with a 79, that's pretty good from Juice Robinson. 85 overall, again, I can't complain. Really good numbers. And Will Ospreay, I think that puts him on 6 points now. Ospreay definitely, you know, chasing Drew Galloway and Walter in Block A. I think Block A is kind of just between those two for now, unless something crazy happens and one of them starts to dip. But let's continue with the show. I'm not keeping track of how many matches there are, so we're just going to stumble across the main event at some point. Oh, and here it is. Wow. Speaking into his existence. A 93. Oh, so much better than I thought it'd be. In a bout that had superb wrestling, my favourite word, and good heat, Walter defeats Drew Galloway in 15 minutes with the rear naked choke. Now, in this match, Drew did not tap. He's a tough motherfucker, but he did unfortunately pass out. So the referee decided to call it there and give Walter the win. So Drew's not going to be very happy about that because obviously losing points. Jake Roberts was screaming out the side, don't tap, don't you dare tap, don't give up. And obviously Drew listening to his manager now. So it's a 93. Drew with an 89, Walter with a 90. I put this as a wild brawl because I think Walter's brawling stats are 88 or 89 and Drew's are like 85. Plus you put that with all of their actual in-ring performance skills and you got a winner. So yeah, a 93 to close the show. I think this could be our highest rated show yet. Potentially. Let's see how we did. A 93. I think this is our highest rated show to date. Just an 89, a 91, an 87, a 96, an 85, a 93, and then we got the 78 and 80 in between. Awesome. Love that. I don't actually have the points total to hand, so I'm going to quickly disappear and then we will reappear with the points total. So when this fades out and fades back in, you'll see the points and we'll quickly go through it together. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Okay, and here we are with the current standings after night 5. And looking at Block A, Walter has now taken the lead with 8 points, following very closely behind, because anything can change in a week, is Drew Galloway and Will Ospreay, who's making a charge up top. Jay White and Matt Cardona are now on 4 points. Jay White's still on 4 points. He didn't wrestle this evening, but Matt Cardona getting his wins. Miro and Darby Allin Drew, which means Miro is now on 3 points. Zack, Sabre Jr. and Bandido got those 2 points from Juice's absence. So technically, they are also without a win, but they do have points from that forfeit. Darby Allin getting his first points tonight with 1, and Juice sat right at the bottom with 0. Looking at Block B, Keith Lee is just unstoppable with 8 points. Pac coming up very closely with 7 points. This is why we wanted to do a 2 points and 1 points rather than a 3 and a 1, just because, you know, anything can happen there. John Moxley and Kenny Omega didn't wrestle tonight, so they stay on 6. The same with Jeff Cobb, who sits on 4. Bryan got his first win of the tournament tonight, so that puts him on 3. Hangman Page sitting pretty at 2. Rouge on 2. And Prince Devitt, who didn't wrestle tonight, is on 0 alongside Nick Jackson, who's also on 0. So that is our current standings after night 5. Tomorrow will be night 6. So we will continue with the All-In Grand Prix, and then it is back to Dynamite, where we'll see what the hell's going on there. But that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Our best show so far of the series, I think. But yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, share. We're coming up to halfway through the Grand Prix. Let me know who you think is going to win Block A and Block B, because to be honest, anything can happen. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye. Yeah.